Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another velocity banking review before I go to sleep. Okay. So in this review, I want to talk about the first lien HELOC. I really feel like the first lien HELOC is kind of overrated and shouldn't be used for velocity banking. And when I talk about first lien HELOC, I'm talking about a replacement of all of your debt with the first lien HELOC rather than getting a first lien HELOC after your mortgage is paid off. Now, you can actually make an argument that you shouldn't use a line of credit to pay off a mortgage. And I'm going to talk about the most extreme situation in this case. So, for example, let's say I got a $210,000 mortgage at 0%, right? You see this 0% interest rate right here at 30 years, assuming all my other debts are paid off. If I used a chunking method at 8%, is that like the dumbest idea in the world? Now, here's the thing. I have it in my velocity banking calculator again, I have this from Renatus. I'll go over that another time about what Renatus is. But if I do 0%, I put in the correct payment, I chunk 8% to a line of credit. What is the worst that can happen? You overpay by $1,300. Okay. Now, okay, here's the thing. If you do this with a first lien home equity line of credit, meaning I just literally went from a 0% mortgage and decide to get an 8% $210,000 home equity line of credit, guess what's happening? Now, instead of overpaying by $1,000, I'm actually overpaying by 47 grand, basically the cost of a new Tesla. And so when I see that, I'm like blown away. Now, here's the thing. If excuse me, I got something in my throat. Um if I do, let's say, do the chunking thing with $7,000, you could make an argument, and again, this is the most extreme case scenario of doing a 0% loan, which I would never do with a 0% loan, right? Or maybe I would just because I'm a little bit lazy. But with the 0% loan, if even if I did the chunking method, okay, you overpay by 1300, right? 1300. Now, you can make an argument that convenience has a cost, right? And if I overpay by 1300 and that's like the worst case scenario, I mean, it's not the end of the world, even though I shouldn't overpay when I had a 0% interest loan. Okay. But when we do that first lien HELOC, take a look at this 47 grand of interest that we pay, even though it's the same 8%. And you know what's even crazier? Okay. Let's go back. Let's reverse this. And we do a 30% credit card. Now take a look. This 30% credit card only cost me 5 grand to use. But if I do the first lien HELOC at 8%, right? Now we're going to do 8% first lien. It costs me 47 grand to do a first lien HELOC. 47 grand. I can't believe it. I'm crying now. I'm crying. So, in conclusion, I don't know what's up with the internet's promoting this first lien HELOC thing, but I just wouldn't do it. And let's just before we go to sleep tonight, do the first lien HELOC um, with the 3% $230,000 mortgage, and let's quickly get this over with to see if this first lien HELOC thing makes sense. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Hold on. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add up all the debt. So let's just do this. Uh, 30, 20, 10, 25, 35, 210. And I'm going to add them all up. So that is $330,000 of debt. Okay. So let's assume that we had $350,000 line of credit at 8% and $330,000 of debt. So it'll be 330,000. Okay. Well, let's just do the velocity banking portion. And if you don't know what velocity banking is, it's literally dumping all your money into debt with the help of a line of credit. But I feel like the most neglected part of velocity banking that's really not emphasized, or I don't really see it too much into emphasized, on the internet is the debt payoff order. But let's just go ahead and assume that we're doing a first lien replacement, right? Replacing all $330,000 of debt. And so now we have $4,200 of cash flow, but not really because we still have to take into account the interest cost of the line of credit. Oh, I'm burping. I think it's my body going crazy because I just had my dinner right now. But let's go ahead and do this. And whoopsie. And I can't copy the goat emoji because honestly, if you're way overpaying than necessary, that's not goat level status. So we have our goat here, but I'm not going to give this any more goats. All right. So now let's go ahead and calculate the interest based on the average daily balance divided by 12. And then let's see how long it takes for us to pay off this first lien HELOC if we're doing velocity banking with it, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And it's very, very simple. I just got to copy and paste this until this turns red, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And I am going to copy and paste this. And we see right here in month 111, right? 111, we pay off, well, let's put this as 0. Okay. So now I am going to highlight this, and then let me go ahead and copy all of this. And so we'll say 111, hold on. Wait, what am I doing? Okay. 111 months, and we'll say $136,000 of interest paid with the first lien HELOC. Okay. So let me go back here and just type this in or copy and paste this. And then we'll just do the second lien HELOC, okay? So with the second lien HELOC, you just get a smaller balance available to you, a line of credit. And we can put goats here because we're gonna copy and paste and save a lot of money with doing the first lien HELOC because I've done this a billion times before. And so I know we're going to probably save a ton of interest. I just don't remember how much. And when we do the second lien HELOC, we just kind of paid the debt off in a certain order. And let me just do this. And how much is the credit card debt? So it's about 60,000. So let's just start off with a $70,000 line of credit. And let's start off with 60, 000. So when we move $60,000 of credit card debt into a line of credit, well, guess what happens here? These go to 0, right? So let's just do this math really quickly because I am getting so sleepy. Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this and copy this. So now this is going to take us 27 months. This will be 0, right? And how much interest do we pay? This would be 5.4 grand of interest, 5.4K of interest. All right, so now that's how long it took to pay off the credit cards. Okay. And then the next one is the auto loan. So let's go ahead and take a look at our loan calculator right here at 27 months, what the current balance of the auto loan is. And so we have 14 grand. So let's do this. So we have this 1.7 grand here. And what we're going to do is move the 14 grand into the line of credit. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And whoopsie. Okay. So we got that. And whoopsie here. Hold on. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and move the auto loan, which is going to be 14 grand here. And then it's going to be plus 14365.16. Okay. And then what's our cash flow right now? And this is going to be 0. And then now it's 2.9 grand right here. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And we're going to update our cash flow. 2926.06. Okay. And then copy and paste. And then now, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to be a little bit conservative and just copy these numbers. Okay. So this is going to be from 29 to 34. So that's 249.85. So we'll say 250. And then we'll just add the 250 right here. And then we're going to sum it up. Okay. So sum only these two. Yeah. Sum it up. Oh, hold on. Sum it up. Okay. So how much is the total sum of the interest that we pay for the car loan? It's about 2 grand. Okay. 2 grand and 32 months in total. So 32 months and 2K of interest, right? So again, I know I'm going a little bit too fast, but I'm very sleepy and I just want to crank out a video before I go to sleep tonight. All right, so now we done that. Now we got a student loan, and let's just at 32 months do this. So this is now 0, and then this is 32, 32, and then we just do the velocity banking stuff and the chunking and all that. And so what that means, again, I'm going pretty fast, is just plug and play into the velocity banking calculator. So I'm going to do this right now. So this is going to be 35,000. Okay, this one right here is 27,608.58, 27,608.58. And what's the interest rate? It is 6%, 10 years at 388.57, 388.57. And we're not going to do a $210,000 chunk. No thanks. And then what's our expenses? It's everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off. So it would just be these two. And then I'm going to copy and paste this. You might be like, how do I do this so fast? Because I've done this a billion times already. 2685.37. Okay, so 2685.37. 2685.37. And then this is going to be 0.7 years and 600. We'll say $650. Okay, so 0.7 years and $650. So 650. Whoopsie. 650. Okay. And so we'll say 5,700 and 0.7 years. Okay. So 5,000. So 5.7K. And what is 0.7 times 12? 8.4 months. We'll say 9 months. Be conservative. So that's going to be 41 months. Okay. And then 5.7K interest. And then now, all right, so now what's the next one? We got to tack on the mortgage. So this is 0, right? And so let me just do the same thing here. 1,800. This is a 30-year, 3% mortgage, and I think the balance is 210,000. And then we're at month 41. So let's go to 41 right here. Okay. And then so now we just kind of do the same thing over and over again. And let's just fill in the deets. So 885.37, 885.37. And so the current balance is 194,461.55. 194,461.55. All right, so now this one is 4.2 years. Okay, so 4.2 years. And let me copy. So the interest will be 13, I'll say 13,300. 13,300 estimate. So 13,300. And then we'll do this. And so now it's 34 grand of interest. Okay, interesting. So now let's go back here. So it's 41 plus 4.2 years. Okay. So 41 divided by 12 plus 4.2, that's 7.62 years in total. 7.62 years. And how much of interest? Well, if we want to calculate that, okay, this is now 0. This is 13. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back here. Okay. So now let me go back here. So this is 34 grand of interest. Okay. So let me just do this. 34K of interest. All right. So now, all right, let's do a comparison and drum roll. So this is 5. Actually, let me copy the font. So 5.4 or 5,400 plus 2,000 plus 5,700 plus 34,000 is 47,000 of interest. And it took us 7.62 years, right? 7.62 years, all right? And 47,000 of interest with the second lien HELOC. And how much is 111 months? So 111 divided by 12, 9.25 years, 9.25 years, and 136K of interest. My goodness. Barbarian. Only a barbarian would pay this much. So let me just do this. 136,000. And what's the difference in interest we pay? It's D13 minus E13. 89 grand. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay. So again, a 30% credit card would beat this. Isn't that crazy? I put a 30% here. I pay 17 grand in interest. Now, if I did the same 8% and then I replaced this with a line of credit, okay, 39 grand. So, why would you want to use a first lien HELOC when there's no real advantage of doing so? Okay. Unless you're at your desperate last legs, which may be possible. Okay. But yeah, that's just kind of the easy math for velocity banking about how the first lien HELOC is a time sucker because what's 9.25 minus 7.6? 9.25 minus 7.6. That's about 1.65 years difference, but then the painful part is you overpay almost about 88,000 at least in this example. Okay? Well, that's it for today. So it's my velocity banking um what do you call it? I don't even know anymore. Demonstration review, possible cult brainwashing session. But yeah, well, that's it for tonight. I'm totally passed out, kind of. But it's only like 11:30. That's how you know that I'm getting more weaker as the days go by. But that's okay. That's okay. Well, have a great day, everybody, and we will speak next time. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship.